Hi folks, Joblot Comics here, and we're having a look at another 100-page special just because I really like them. This is World's Finest number 224 and it's 100 pages for 60 cents. And you can see there the UK price stamp is 15 pence. So 15 pence for 100 pages of DC superhero action starring Batman, Superman and a whole host of other characters. Like I said in my previous video that we did one of these yesterday, yeah, I'm sure that's another Nick Cardy cover. These had a new story as the first, the main lead. And then they had reprints all through the rest of it. There you go. And this has another story of the Super Sons that was quite a strange idea. Batman and Superman have sons in this sort of timeline, I suppose, yeah. And there's art by Dick Dillon, Vince Coletta, and story by Bob Haney. Bob Haney, who wrote some really bizarre stories for DC Comics in the 70s. However, this is really good value. Haney used to like putting things into chapters. This is chapter 1 that we're looking at here. There we go. I got no idea what's going on. And it was a great time to be reading comics because 100 pages for 15 pence. You couldn't believe it. You just couldn't believe it. Dick Dillon's art was always great on these titles as well. I used to really enjoy his stuff and he was always very underrated. But good, crisp, clean artwork. Part 3, we're on here. And Bob Haney also did a huge run on Brave and the Bold with Batman, which some of them also had some great Nick Cardy covers. Anyway, here we go. It's a Golden Age reprint here, Johnny Quick and his magic formula. So interesting in the UK to see these kind of comics because, you know, we never really got a lot of Golden Age stuff from comic books over here. They just didn't make their way over. So you would buy this and then you would see all these strange titles you never heard before. Look at this, behind the scenes with the Super Friends, another TV animated show with and here's a whole sort of text feature on how they do the storyboards and stuff. Jim Mooney artwork on this Silver Age story here. Batman and Superman. Superman Secret Master. Glad that stopped where it did. And here's a look at the other titles that DC were putting out at this time. There we go. And that's Nick Cardy. I think that's Nick Cardy. I think that's Nick Cardy as well. There we go. Somebody should do a big retrospective on Nick Cardy's artwork. Especially his flash covers. Anyway, we're on to Never Bet Against an Element Man. It's a Silver Age, Metamorpho. You'll recognise him from the new Superman film, which I just don't know about. I quite liked it when I seen it and I seen what they were trying to do, and I just don't know if it really hit all the right keys. Superman just spent the whole movie getting beaten up. Lex Luthor just created a pocket universe in a black... I mean, how did Lex Luthor create a pocket universe and yet still have trouble with Superman? It makes no sense. Here we go. Metamorpho. I think that's Ramona Frad in artwork. And from the World's Finest Fans, and that's you. If you've watched this far, you're World's Finest fan. And here we get another Superman Batman story at the end. What we got here? Curt Swan, Dick Sprang. Did an awful lot of stuff on Batman. Look at that great cover. Great splash page. 1964. You can hear a lot of noise outside. They were getting roadworks done. They've been at it for weeks. It's just a disaster. There we go. So that's World's Finest Gang, issue number 224. 100 pages of World's Finest goodness. And there's the Super Sons there, in terrible trouble with their dads. Well, I've actually got no idea what's going on. Anyway, hope you enjoyed that. If you did, subscribe, and I'll see you in the next one.